Now, despite the trouble in Hamburg, which we've just been watching, the leaders of the world's top 20 economies are all pretty much already gathered in that German city, and they're going to try at least to address some of the challenges facing the world right now. We are going to have a more in-depth preview of the big event. Our Kim Hyesung outlines the main agenda, the topics, and most importantly, the prospects.
Shaping an interconnected world, that's the theme of the G20 Summit set to begin on Friday in the German city of Hamburg. The three main agendas set by the host country are building resilience, improving sustainability, and assuming responsibility. Those are divided into 15 subtopics, including trade, investment, climate and energy, income inequality, and immigration. All of them in the pursuit of stable, sustainable economic growth.
Since the 2008 global financial crisis, the global economy has recovered somewhat. Now the US and EU are ready to start tapering their monetary policies. Both China and Japan are still in expansion mode. At the summit, member countries will likely discuss their different macroeconomic policies, address overcapacity issues, like in Chinese steel, and discuss measures to prevent rising protectionism.
Promoting free trade and a liberal international order has long been the mission of the G20. But according to the WTO, 42 new trade restrictive measures were applied by G20 economies between October 2016 and May 2017, an average of 6 measures per month, slightly higher than in 2016. With U.S. President Donald Trump pushing for an America First policy and calling for existing free trade agreements to be renegotiated, member countries are likely heading for a clash. This lack of consensus was seen in March at the G20 financial ministers and central bank governors meeting. The members' communique at the end replaced the usual phrase, "Resist all forms of protectionism," with a watered-down version. "We're working to strengthen the contribution of trade to our economies." German Chancellor Angela Merkel, however, vowed last week to European leaders that the EU will present a united front at the G20 in favor of free trade.
My goal, therefore, is that the G20 summit sends a clear signal for open markets and against barriers, as well as a clear commitment to a multilateral trade system.
Trade within Europe is big. Upholding liberal trade policies is critical for the EU's economic and political survival. If President Trump opposes liberal trade policies, then the roles of Europe and China, their leadership, will grow even bigger at the summit.
The second main agenda is climate change, which the group sees as an issue that needs to be tackled for sustainable growth. G20 leaders are expected to push for the implementation of the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. That agreement, however, was dealt a major blow when President Trump took America out of it.
Sustainable energy has long been a critical issue for Germany. Merkel has played an important role in coming up with the Paris Climate Agreement. A high level of commitment to the Paris deal is unlikely, but countries are expected to at least reaffirm their commitment to environmental issues at the level of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
The Hamburg Summit also incorporates numerous socio-political issues ranging from women's empowerment, immigration, digitalization, fighting terror, and supporting Africa. The agenda is designed to make growth inclusive and address the criticism that globalization and free trade have left some behind.
The G20 summit discusses a range of issues, so it's difficult to expect the countries together to come up with specific policies. The real policies come from bilateral talks on the sidelines, especially with changes in global leadership, like in the US, France, and of course, Korea. The upcoming summit will provide an opportunity for leaders to meet and boost mutual understanding. One of the topics will be North Korea.
Just like the theme of this year's G20 summit, the world has become more interconnected than ever, with issues like trade, climate, and immigration no longer confined to one country or one region. Ambitious topics to cover, with differences looming large among participating members, compromise and reconciliation won't be easy, and the world will be watching. Kim Hyesung, Arirang News.